Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in the second agave webinar series. Today, we have the presentation of Rodrigo Mestas, the first regenerative tequila in Mexico.
Rodrigo Mestas is a regenerative farmer and the creator of the world's first certified regenerative tequila, Tequila Torrente. After a career in marketing, he transformed his approach to agriculture, embracing regenerative practices such as the use of natural ground cover, rotational livestock grazing, and direct observation of soil and wildlife dynamics. Certified by Regenified, Torrente stands out not only for its innovation but also for its contribution to ecosystem regeneration. Rodrigo's experimental and thoughtful approach, combined with his deep respect for the land, has made him a leading figure in regenerative agave farming in Mexico. Today, he joins us with the purpose of sharing his knowledge and promoting the adoption of regenerative agriculture.
Today, Rodrigo is talking about regenerative and agave certification. Thank you, Rodrigo, for joining us.
Or 4.5 years ago, I started only with 20 hectares. I didn't move that 480. There were conventionals, but I started, and that advice was given to me by Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown is this guy that is in Kiss the Ground and Common Ground, and he's very involved in regenerative. Uh, so he told me, don't go full regenerative. First go with 20 hectares, and then you start going. When you see that it's working, then you can keep going. And he also told me, when the day, if you don't want to be regenerative, next day you till and you put herbicide, pesticides, and start going conventional. And from one day to another, you become conventional again. So I follow his advice, and I started. Actually, this picture is where I started. This picture that we have here with the horses and the sheep and the donkeys. Uh, it was a conventional agave, and I started not using anything, and so a lot of grasses and plants start coming out, and so it was a good experience. So context is a very important part of your plan. Okay, then the second one, minimal soil disturbance. What is this? Uh, I don't till. I don't till anything. Like for example, this year, what I did when I planted agave, I only make a small scratch in the soil to put the agave. I didn't move anything because this terrain was already regenerative, and also I don't want to move this my soil because I damage all my microorganisms. No, and also when they tell me what are you in the agave business? No, I mean, I take care of the microherd, no, all the microbes and all that. So that's what I'm moved to have a better soil. If I have a good soil, I have a good agave, I have a good animals, I have healthy plants, everything. No, so I'm a soil guardian. So that's how I define my position in my company. No, uh, also, another way of disturbing the soil is by using pesticides and herbicides. So sometimes you say, I don't till, yes, but if you use pesticides or herbicides, it's gonna be it's the same because you're killing the microorganism, you're killing the insects, and then those insects are not gonna be there, so that you're not gonna have birds, and you're not. It's a change, and also. What happens when you start using all these? You have natural pest controls. For example, I put here that it's a ladybug. So what happens here is we have a pest that I call pest because I think pests were made by humans when there was this economical purpose. So then animals became a amenaza, no? Like well, so so then when you work and you mimic nature, you start seeing how she start working with you in a very good way. No, so uh, in this first place where we started, we had escama armada, that is a pest that it goes into the penca, in the leaf of agave, and start sucking the savia. No, so what we normally what you have to poison the plant so that escama armada dies. So I didn't put anything because my people said, "What do we put? No, leave it alone." So then we came back 15 days later, and the ladybugs were eating the escama armada. So it was already controlled. So we don't, so this equilibrium started very fast. In the first year, we start having a lot of equilibrium in everything, no? So that's the magic of letting nature talk, no? And it's important also that sometimes you have to, because people ask me, what do I do when I have the picudo in my agave? Well, it's going to attack some plants. You need to see what do you want. Do you want to pay the cost of losing some plants? And also, it's going to take the weak plants, not the strong ones. Or you want to pay the cost or of putting money all the time to take picudo out of your place and keep poisoning your field. So it depends what you want. No, so you have to pay a cost. There's no free lunch here. You have to pay a cost, and you have to know what you want to pay. No, you have to analyze that well. Uh, Three, keeping living roots in the soil. This is very, very important because if you have living roots the whole part of the year, it is you start building aggregates. These aggregates are like when you take out a root from the soil, from a good soil, you see all these small pieces of land attached to the soil, no, to the root soil. Sorry. Then that is very good because there's a lot of communication between the microbes and the roots and the exchange. I think I imagine this is in my mind only. I don't, but I think that what happens is, for example, agave transforms light into carbon by photosynthesis and put it in the soil. So then they start. Then the microbes come to the exchange. It's like a stock market down there, and everybody's. What do you have? No, I have potassium. What do you have? I have carbon. Okay, let's exchange. So then it started a multiple exchanging, and as if you have more roots from different plants, they're gonna need different things than agave, and agave is gonna need different things from. So it's everything starts changing, and it's like a social a social communication between the microbes. There's this Australian doctor that says that's Christine Jones, and she said that there's like we don't know yet, but there's a lot of social activity going down there, and also like in some places in Kisa ground they say that in a teaspoon or a soup spoon of soil you have more live creatures than humans in the world. So to just to have dimension of what you have, how much life and how much we depend on this, because this is very, very important. Soil is everything for us, and we have to take care of it. That's what I think. No? And also, when you keep leaving roots in the soil, you have worms as allies. Instead of being pests, they start working for you. They make tunnels. They make they start working, and so you can infiltrate water, air, because the soil is composed by 25% of water, 25% of air, and then all the soil and all the minerals and all that. So that is that we have to learn to work with that. For example, when you are conventional and you only have agave, you have worms that go and eat your root. And that's obvious because there's no food for that worm. So how can you make uh, someone eat something they don't have? So they have to go and eat living roots. They don't eat living roots. They normally eat organic matter that is decomposing. But if they don't have any alternative, they're gonna eat your agave. So now that I have a lot of organic matter, I have many roots. So all the worms there have like a buffet in the top. No, they look up and they have too much to eat, not only agave. And also, as I'm generating all these organic matter increase, they have more food, so they are not going to look to something they don't like to eat. So they don't even bother to touch my agaves. No? So that's another thing that is good of having um, the living roots. Also, the water and air infiltration is very important here. So these keeping roots, when you have when one plant dies, it's gonna give this, it's gonna leave this root as a tunnel also. So air can go through and water can go infiltrate also. So it is a big part also. Okay, this number 4, cover and build surface armor. Here is very important to have covered your soil from the sun, because if the sun hits uh, the bare soil, is going to kill all the first 5 centimeters of your microorganisms. So that's not good. So you have to have covered with green plants, or also sometimes I have done, if it's bare, I put some other like something like wood chips or something like that to cover, so it doesn't get the sun hits. Also, when you have roots and you have a covered soil, you can reduce the erosion. No, you reduce a lot of water erosion and air erosion. So you even in this picture that you see here, the 2 cows, if it rains, it's gonna, first of all, it's gonna go inside, because I have raised my infiltration rate. And if in the case that uh, it's more rain than the capacity of infiltrating, it's gonna run, but it's gonna run clean. It's not gonna take my soil. No, that's very, very important. So, and then also the all these armor and all these plants that are there are good for birds shelter. Actually, yesterday I was walking in one of the places of my fields, and I see some road runners and also some quails. So you're walking and they just start flying. So that's because they have a space to be there. And also they're there because there's a lot of insects. You're walking and you see a lot of grasshoppers, uh, every spiders, everything. No, so you have very small ones, and then you have big ones. No, and then you have the ones that I don't know how you call them. We call them estiarquioleros. That from the when the cow poos, they start making balls. I don't know the name in English. These small dung beetles, I think they're called. They start making balls and then they take it and put it into the soil. No, so when it's very important when you have the cover armor, it's nice because you see a lot of you have shelter for many species. No, also when you cover and when you have a better soil and roots and all that, you start to have a perennial transition instead of annuals. For example, when I started, I have annual grasses and annual plants. So then, as I'm evolving, what happens is that you start having perennial plants that are going to be green most of the year. So that's great because you start having more roots, live roots in the soil. No, so that's also a very good part of it. Well, diversity. This is a very, very, very important part of it. I sometimes I abuse of this point of diversity, but I actually at the moment I have 50 plus types of plants in between my agaves. Uh, why is that? Because I think as if you have diversity in plants and you have diversity in animals, you're gonna have diversity in microorganisms. Okay, so there's this in my I have cows, donkeys, sheep, horses, chickens, and dogs in my agaves, and I change them every 24 hours. I'm changing them all the time. No, so they can. Why I do this? Because when I change them, it has different things. You have to, if you leave them more than 3 days, and they eat one plant the first day, the third day you're gonna start having newborn plants, and I don't want them to eat them. I want them to grow so that roots go deeper. Okay, so that's why I'm going to take them. Also, another thing, I have to take when I change every 24 hours. I start seeing that the deworming and the parasites stay in the old field. So I change a field and they stay here in the last one. When I come back, maybe three months later or 4 months later to this same place, the parasites is dead because it didn't have where to climb a cow, a sheep, or something to keep going. No, so that's why I don't deworm, I don't use antibiotics, and I don't vaccine my animals. No? But well, I'm gonna go with that in the last one. I want to share with you. I heard from Christine Jones from Australia this case study. They put there was these two fields, uh, one field with the perfect raygrass you can imagine. No, it's green, very nice that you see in the movies. No, like something very nice. And in the other side, it was a field with 7 types of plants, of a family of plants. No, legumes, grass, and all types of things over there. No, so they put in the first study they put cows, milk cows in the grass, and milk cows in the other land with 7 families of plants. And what happened was that the cows start producing 4 to 5 liters more of milk when they were eating diversity in the 7 types. Okay, then they made the same example with sheep, and they saw that sheep that were eating several different types of plants were gaining more weight than the ones that were eating the very nice gray grass. No, so that give us that makes me feel that I'm going in the good way because I'm giving my animals 50 plus types of plants to eat, and also the ones that are not eaten by the cows are eaten by the horses, if not by the donkeys, if not by the sheep, and it keep going on. So it's an interaction, and also it's very important because when you have animals, um, well, I'll share it in the next one. Is uh, here, uh, right, here, animal impact. No, the fastest way to impact soil is by introducing animals. Why? Because they step in the soil, and also they have the saliva effect of the saliva. They have the breathing in the plants also, and when they pee and when they poo, they have a very good microbiota that goes into the land. So that's the like the best cocktail to put. And also that's why I have diversity, because I want to the rumen of the different animals is totally different from a cow to the sheep to a horse to the variety that I have. Even the donkey and horse, they have a very different gut. No, so that's why I have diversity. So as long as you have more diversity, also I have chickens at the moment, but I'm going to talk about in the next slides. But what I do is the fastest way is with putting animals so they can poo and pee in your place and step it and all that, and then you have to give a rest. That's a very important part of regenerative agriculture. You have to leave a rest in the land so it can restore. No? Also, like I will tell you lately, I don't use vaccines. I don't deworm. I don't use any antibiotics. And also sometimes they ask me uh, why not to use all these, because I'm not going to use it because I want a natural selection, and also I don't want to. They have to be. I need like a strong herd that is for my context. No, so well, so that's why I don't use. I don't vaccine. I don't do work because I don't want to depend. Also, I don't want to work for them. I want them to work for me. No? So and also I have chickens in the I have chickens in the agaves. I put some I have chickens to put eggs, and I have also poultry, or how you call it, the ones to make chicken, not to eat chicken.
Yeah, it is
So
poultry. Yep.
okay. So what we do, we change them all the time, every day, 24 hours. We change the cage to a new paddock. Also, the the chickens and the layers. No, both of them are all the time moving, so they're working. Also, they're pooing there, and they're putting nitrogen into the soil, and they're trying to make a big change in our soil. No, so then if normally I put the cows first, and then 3 days, maybe 2 or 3 days later, I put the chickens, and they're gonna scrabble all the poo of the cow, and they start moving, and they're gonna eat some insects that are there. So I'm gonna have a better egg, and everything is gonna be better. Also, what we as we don't use these, we use a chicken in a chicken. We give them vinegar, we give them oregano, we put them some onion and some garlic. We have a protocol to start putting all the time. Every week, we give them different things to prevent and to make them to be strong. And also, they're very happy because they are in a big cage, and they have also like a net where they're moving all the time. So we have really, really, really happy chickens now, and you can see how their feathers are. As long as you see them, you see they're in a happy place, no? And that's good. Well, that's the six steps that I just talked about. I want to share you also the annual test that we do to measure the progress we're doing. No? For example, each year we make a water infiltration test, and we make it with a 6-inch pipe, and it's like 20-inch tall, and it's the one that you see in the picture, and you have to hammer it and put it inside, and then you put like half a liter of water. It's 400 and something milliliters. I don't have the number but then you put that the first time, and you check out how is going, how much it was going to into the water. So and then the second one, you also take the number, no? So what we know is that from 1 year to another, we raised our capacity of infiltrating water in the double, no? So if we were capable, because we raised also in 2 years, we raised our organic matter, we doubled it, no? And also, what we check also, we check bricks levels, and we check uh, organic matter, and we also make a Haney test that we send our samples to the States to check all the microbes and all that. We check the soil cover, and very important, we make a lot of observation of insects, plants, birds, animals to see what happened last year, to see what is going down, what is going now. So it's a lot of observation, resilience, and also never take a decision where you have to be calm to take a decision. No? For example, what one time happened that you have to work with your nature, and also you have to be very resilient to take decisions, to make a decision. No, so one day one engineer told me, no, it's because the sometimes sheep eat the agaves on the side. So he was, no, your sheep is in the agave, and also it was like a fight. And I thought, let's see what happens. Then when rain came, we saw that these plants were growing very fast. And it was because of the stress that was put by taking out the leaves, and also because the saliva effect. No, so you have to observe. And I told him, what would happen? That these plants died? Yeah, no problem. It happens. Now we know if they die, we know that we don't have to let the sheep bite them. And now that we know that it doesn't happen anything, now we know there's no problem. So you have to let experiment and keep moving. No, well. Uh, well, I was telling you about the animal and plant selection. No, what we do here, we have a natural selection that is if that maybe you get there and you see a sheep that is dead. Okay, that was a natural selection. It was not for there. But if I get, we make some tests, or we make some we uh, check each year and see in the same condition, if you have two sheep and one is thin and the other one is fat, I want to have the fat one that is good for this context. If it's a one that is not good, I'm gonna take it out. So that's an artificial selection. So I have to be, and if one female is not pregnant and is not giving a sheep to the herd, I have to take it out. And also is to honor, because if I take a sheep that is not having a good time in between the agaves, I have to honor that and take it out and put it in another place, not here because it's not his place. And also, I'm not gonna bring uh, a lamb or a sheep that has a lot of lana and it's in a tropical place, it's gonna die because it's not. So I have to think in that also, no. So I have to have animal selection, and also with plants, I see which plants grow better in this context. So then I want hijuelos of those ones. I don't want hijuelos from the ones that are not good. So you have all the time to be thinking and what is the best for you. No, this year, for example, I reduced my density. I reduced 50% the density of agaves. So from 3,000 agaves per hectares, I went to 1,500. No? So that gave more space between the agaves, and also with this space, they're gonna grow better, and they're gonna have more space. And also, I'm gonna give space for the animals to walk and to uh, be grazing. And also, I'm gonna put more plants there, so I get out of the monoculture. No, so as I'm making experiments all the time. So that's very important. And I put this phrase that Alejandro Carrillo, that is my mentor, he told me one day: love your wife, forgive your son, and do not do anything of both with your animals. No, you don't have to. You cannot. I don't put names to the animals. I don't put, because they're there to work. No, and also you don't have to give them opportunities, because then it comes a problem for you. You have to have a very nice herd that is fertile, that is working, that is doing a job. No? Also very important, the lamb. We only have 30 days of the year that we put the males to with the females. So we have a short period where all our lambs are born, and that's because we only want one parto, or one parto or un parto per year,
Give
so that
birth. Mm-hmm.
the sheep is in a good shape. If I'm all the time trying to have babies, his gut and all her body is not going to be in a good condition. So I have to respect nature, and I have to mimic nature. No, that's very, very important. I want to talk about the benefits that I have got from being regenerative. And I would like to share you that uh, the carbon sequestration is one of those that is very important. Water infiltration, that is very important because it helps me to conserve humidity, and also it's very important because water goes down into the aquifers, to the mantos freáticos. And also it's very important that we restore the small cycle of water, because 40% of the water that rains comes from plants and from the soil. The 60% comes from the bodies of water. No, so if we have more green plants in the lab, we have more evapotranspiration all the time working. No, so that's very important. Another benefit is we increase organic matter, and so that's that land. No, I ended with better land than the one that I started. No, with more to end uh, in my neighbor's place. I want to stay in my place. That's why I follow the principles. Also, no chemicals in our collaborators' bags. We don't put any chemicals. We don't use poisons, anything, because we put in the bag, and they're putting the bag with a pump. So they're not in contact with that. So they don't have risk of cancer. They don't have risk of tumors. They don't have risk of respiration problems. They don't have risk of anything. So now I tell them, "No, you're not agriculturists. We are shepherds at the moment, no, because we move animals." And then, well, I don't have pests. at the moment. No, we don't believe in pests. We only leave the insects to have an equilibrium. If I have many picudos, there's gonna be spiders that are gonna eat the picudo. There's gonna be this bird that's gonna come, and everything is gonna come in equilibrium. No, so I don't care about that. I have raised my bricks levels in agave and in pastures also as you go with better management. No, so that's great because you're gonna have better food for your animals, and you're gonna have better agave for my tequila. So that's perfect, no? And also we're gonna lower cost in the long run. Now we're going up because we're in the peak of it, no? But as soon as I jump the hill, so I'm gonna go in the roller coaster. Yes, I'm gonna join the trip, no? And so and then also with this that I have sheep, I have eggs, I have chicken, uh, cows, donkeys, and everything. Even at the moment, I have dogs I have small dogs that I used to be with my animals, and now I sell dogs, I sell eggs, I sell chickens, I sell everything. No, so well, that's great. And also one of the most important, I have quality food in our table. One part very important is that when we generate income during the year is when you plant agave, you have to wait 7 to 10 years to get income. No, so what happens if I have all these? I can generate a multi-income agave system that gives me money all the year long. So that's great because I can go and sell 20 dozens of eggs every day, and I get that money to keep working. I go sell some chickens, so all the time I generate food for my house, and I generate food to sell and to get the money to keep going. No, so I'm trying to not to have different multi incomes in this progress that I'm doing, so that we don't depend only in one thing. So if agave price is low, I don't care because I'm selling the eggs, and also if I do my things well, now with my tequila, I can pay better for the agave or put a higher cost. But well, that's different. Also, I want to share you. I make my only bio inputs. I make them with trichodermas and with blood of bull. I make some amino acids with algae with. So we make our own things. So I don't buy anything from outside. I'm not the best friends of Bayer and all the big companies because I don't buy anything from them. So they don't like me much. Uh, Certification. Why do I decided to certify my agave and my tequila? Well, first of all, because it gives me added value. Also, uh, the compromise to improve because I have to keep each year they come, and every 3 years they make a analysis of my land, and they see if I improve. If I improve, I keep my certification. If I don't improve, they take away the certification. That's a compromise to improve all the time. And also customer trust. No, if the customer see a seal, they can trust that this seal is from Regenified and is also approved by USDA, and also has been approved by CRT, that is el regulador del tequila, ¿no?
El Consejo
Entonces,
Regulador del Tequila.
Consejo Regulador del Tequila, yes. So then that's why we decided to certificate, because we need to validate this. But also it's very important to tell you that we don't depend on the seal. We are more important than the seal, but it's something that we have to have so that we can have track of something, no? Well, they asked me what do we do in Torrente? We regenerate the land, the community, and the future. No, that for me is very important because we don't work for us. I tell them that we don't sell tequila. We sell a hope. We sell community. We sell things that we need to have a better world. I tell when in the night when I get to my house, I can see my kids to the eyes and tell them, I'm leaving you a better world to the one that I brought you. So I feel good with that, and I hope everybody can do that so we can have a better world for the next generations. Also, I'm almost finished, and I'm gonna close with this. Choose your heart. No, so if you want to end your period of agave with a better soil, with better plants, with more infiltration, more organic matter, carbon sequestration. That's hard. Also, if you want to end your cycle of agave with a worse soil, no organic matter, a lot of poison in your soil, bad land, everything, that's hard also. So I can tell you, choose your heart. So it depends on you. What do you want? So I decide to go in the first one, and I choose to have a regenerative land. And I can tell you that it's a very nice trip that I can without a problem go again in that trip. Thanks. And I hope we're in time because it's
Yes.
1:45 and we're very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and muchas gracias, Rodrigo. Thanks a lot. This is impressive. I mean, I have many questions, but one comment that I want to say is that, I mean, you were already doing a lot of these regenerative practices, and if there is a seal or something that it can give you actually the certification, if you're already doing it, that's a no-brainer, right? So you're committed to that one, you're already doing it, and someone can certify it, like, sure, let's do it, but also kind of help you, or not help you, but provides this assurance also to the consumer that yes, you are doing the right thing, that this is yes, you're selling a product, but you're doing responsibly. So anyway, we have a lot of questions here. Jesse starts putting some of those in there, and what I will do is read some of those. Okay. So from Felix, let me put it in here, otherwise. So Felix mentioned, would it be possible to get information of Rodrigo? And Rodrigo, I shared your email. It was rodmestas@gmail.com.
Yes.
And then María de Lourdes Orozco. Hola María, qué gusto verte por acá. Rodrigo, what plants do you use as cover crops?
I don't use cover crops. I just let nature activate the bank soil, the seed bank that I have. So because when it's bare soil, it will send you big leaves, so it covers. And then when you leave that, then grasses will come, and then another plants will come, then legumes, and then everything. So I don't use anything. I just let nature work, and I work for the nature and work with her and mimic her, so that she does what she needs to do.
Yeah, and I think that is great, because rather than you trying to engineer your cover, you're just kind of watching nature and then enhancing it, rather than just trying to do it. Felix, do you cut the grass or weed down?
Sometimes, yes. Normally, what I do, I have also a crimper, I don't know, a roller crimper that I put in a tractor, and I put down that. Also, when it's too high and I need, I send people with a weedle, we call the trimmer.
Trimmer.
So we call it, we do it only near the agave, but we don't touch the center, so that animals can eat that part, and they can do the job of decomposing it with pooping and urinating and all that. So I do cut the grass when it's necessary, because I need the sun to get to the agaves. That's very important. So I don't have to leave the other plants to be taller than the agave. That's the main object.
And I mean, this is a follow-up from Maria. Thank you. Have you been able to identify those native grasses? ¿Sabes qué pasa?
Yes. Yes, I have been. We made a university came with us, and they took the samples, and they take 60 plants, different 60 plants out of our field, and they're at the moment. I'm waiting for the results, but that's the only thing that I have done. I have done any more.
Yeah, and now I'm just thinking, so that we have a lot of questions, my friend. From Jesse, do you have different species of agave in your property? And what is your opinion about different or diversifies agaves on your property?
I don't have at the moment. I'm planning to make one to put some, and I think it's important to do it because you're gonna. One of my plans is to have a field that I put different agaves and then
Mhm.
harvest all that and make a agave spirit with blend of that from that field in specific. So yes, I think it's good. It could be a good idea because it's diversity.
And you know what? I think, Rodrigo, that is a very good comment. I've been, sorry, gonna make here a small parenthesis, but I think it's good that you're right now thinking in kind of all the way to the end product, your distillate, but that you're gonna be start mixing it and creating your own blends,
Yes.
your own signature, and that one will come from I mean, very romantically, we can call it terroir. So your field and your practices and your species, right? And I think many people in California are thinking the same. Like, how can I create my own
I,
identity?
I only use for my tequila my agave. I don't buy agave from anybody. And also I only use agave that has a quiote and capon, and
Mhm.
also only the one that is an ovillado, only mature agave. So and only from my fields. So then I'm the next batch is gonna be single state. So it's gonna be from one place in particular.
Yeah, we have here. Yeah, we just have a lot of questions. So from Lisette, Rodrigo, muchas gracias. Question: if you are unable to bring horses, donkeys, and sheep, what do you think about bringing in local manure? Would that be considered regenerative?
Yes, it's a good beginning. I think it's gonna give you. Uh, it depends where you bring that from. If it
Mhm.
has ivermectin, I don't know how you call it,
Uh-huh.
or if they deworm the animal, that poo is gonna be dead because it's not gonna have microorganisms because they deworming everything. So just be careful what you put into your land, and so that you can get the benefit. The most beneficial part is to do it straight from the animal to the soil, but it is a good start. There's people that put some compost. You can do something. Everything is good. I think every good step that you do is phenomenal.
And you know what, Rodrigo, that's a very good comment. And so yeah, ivermectin. I think unfortunately it was. I'm not sure if it was the same that the current president was advertising for vaccinations or so. But the point is that unfortunately, some of these practices that are done in the production of cattle, of beef, and if we buy that manure, we may bring in those kind of practices there. The other one that I think is very important is that many of the animals, some of the dairy CAFOs production, this kind of land scale, big scale animal production, they use a lot of antibiotics.
Okay?
They
Yes.
vaccinate their animals. And what we're bringing is like similarly when we're drinking vitamins and so on, we're peeing and we're pooping vitamins and so on.
Yes.
And we're bringing those into our fields. And I think in the end, if we're bringing antibiotics and we want to create a good biota on the soil, we're just bringing in the poop the killers of the microbes that we want to create.
Conserve. Yes.
So just pay attention to the details on that one. Um, okay, so there is another one. So this is from Jesse. Also, can you ask how to identify the products that we can apply to be considered regenerative?
Okay. The products you refer to,
I,
uh, for
I
example,
am
ivermectin
thinking.
is not regenerative. Antibiotics is not regenerative. Uh, maybe uh, all the agrochemical stuff is not regenerative.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe think think what can be better uh, for your soil. It's like for in your body. If you take care of your microbiotic, you see, if I
Uh-huh.
eat Doritos Nachos, I'm not doing a good job for my stomach,
Yes.
so I'm not gonna have it. If I put some antibiotic, it's not good. If I
Mhm.
deworm, it's not good. But if I eat sauerkraut, or how you call it, col agria, it's good.
Sí,
If you
sauerkraut.
eat some regenerative meat, if you eat things that are good for your microbe, that's good. So think the same. The soil is like your microbiotic stomach. So that's put it in context in that, and try and feel and follow your instinct and your gut to see if it's good. But it's basically that. I hope I can answer that.
Yes, yes, yes. And I mean that was a very good analogy. There is just one last question here from Head Felix. But before that, someone asked if you have a picture of your chicken. Do you have?
I have chick. I can send it to Jessica.
Okay.
Uh, I send them to them. The cages that I use is the ones like Joel Salatin. Joel Salatin has some cages that they use to move, and also I have like a chicken mobile for the egg layers. So if you have know the Joel Salatin, that is a good farmer, you can follow him, and you
Mhm.
can see it there, and I can share my pictures with you.
Yes, yes, yes. And we will send that. I think that was a comment from Cristal. So Cristal, if you can put in there your email, we can send you the pictures. Also, when you send us that, we'll share it in our social media and we tag you on that one, Rodrigo. So um, there are a couple of other questions. So from José María González Garay. Dice, buenas tardes, Rodrigo. Una pregunta. Mi papá tiene un potrero en Zacatecas, en la región del Cañón de Juchipila.
Hmm?
¿Qué me recomendará para empezar a plantar agave? Nunca se ha sembrado nada. Es un terreno de barbecho. También tengo el plan de plantar agave en el condado de Kern, en California. Será mejor que le mande un correo electrónico para comunicarme con usted. Y ese es Jorge José María. You have
Está mi
the
correo en
contact
la.
information there, like right now on the screen.
Sí,
Um,
que me busque y con mucho gusto.
yep. And actually, before going to Felix, you know what, Rodrigo? As I was looking at yours, so agaves they doesn't like to have their feet wet. They don't like water standing in there. Having good cover crops, increasing the microbiome, and so on, it increases the infiltration, so it
Yes,
really keeps the root dry with air, which that's what agave likes.
yes,
But it also all the animals, all the insects that you have, as you say, they are balancing each other. So, something that I've heard from others is that you have to be comfortable of being uncomfortable. So there is a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces there that you were saying, like, okay, yeah, the sheep are eating the pencas. And then, I mean, that for everyone might be uncomfortable, right?
yes.
But then when you go there and you see them like, oh no, actually the agaves are being a little bit more resistant. They are fighting back. But you were comfortable of being uncomfortable.
Yes.
So I think I want to make sure
No,
about that. The
no,
other
it's
one,
true.
we have a lot of, I think some people have the debates about what is regenerative agriculture, but you have it pretty clear in your first slide. You have a picture of your neighbor's property, and the reality is that unfortunately we have bare soil is not working as with nature. We just have control of everything, and we're spending and using a lot of energy ourselves to try to produce something.
I would like to add something,
Uh-huh.
Samuel. Uh, some people ask me, what is better, organic farming or regenerative farming? No, it's just, for me, organic farming that takes care of the soil is regenerative. If permaculture is taking care of the soil, is regenerative. If a conventional person is making some things to become better the soil, he's going in the way to regenerative. So there's not a perfect way. There's not a perfect answer, and everything just take care of the soil. Put the name you want to it. I don't care what you name you put to it. Just take care of the soil and take care of the microherd. That's it. And that I just want to put that in context.
Yes, and you also mentioned it, Rodrigo, that you're leaving your property, the place, in a better condition of how you found it. You are
Yes.
doing some regeneration there. And I think the labeling, if it is conventional, organic, biodynamic, it's just kind of, but the point is that you receive something in a given state and you're making it better. And your philosophy is not fight against the nature. You're using nature in your favor and adequately consistent there. So we are just right on time. I want to honor everyone. I know that many of you are joining while you're having your lunch. Buen provecho. Bon appetit there. But I just want to honor everyone's. Just one last announcement / advertisement is that Jesse put it in there, a lot of our next webinar series. So the next one will be with Deborah Yashar, Cooperatives and Collective Action. That will be on September 25th. Then Steve Sanchez, who is also here, Agave and Dry Farming Practices. Rodrigo is also Steve Sanchez uses a lot of the goats and animals and that. Perfect. Super interesting. Then the last webinar of the year will be by Fabiola Santiago, Cultural Appropriation, the Significance of Maguey and Mezcal to Zapotec People. Thank you for joining. Muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Jessie.
One last question, Rodrigo.
Yes.
Where can we buy Torrente tequila in California or in?
I'm gonna be in market maybe in October in the States. I'm gonna enter into first. I'm gonna be in Los Angeles. I'm gonna only move in there because I don't have deep pockets to advertise and for logistics. So I'm gonna stay only in LA. But I'm going to have sales online. I will let you know as soon as I know. I'll let you know, Jessica. So you can help me share the information, please. And it will be very important that when you buy Tequila Torrente, you're going to know that you're buying something that is living a better world. Our bottle is from recycled glass. So we're doing a good job. So that's that. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, let us know when you're in Los Angeles and so on. And we have Mike and others are there.
Okay, I'll let you know.
And yeah, we would love to host you. And anyway, thanks everyone. Muchas gracias a todos.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you,
this was really good.
Gracias, Rodrigo. Gracias
Muchas
por la
gracias.
presentación.
Gracias a todos.
Gracias.
Buen día.
Buen día.
Chao, chao.